After missing out on Alex Bregman, the Boston Red Sox pivoted and signed left-handed starter Ranger Suárez to a 5-year, $130 million deal. Some people love it, some people hate it, and some people are calling it outright desperation. I see it very differently. I think this was a smart, aggressive move that not only gives Boston a truly playoff-ready rotation, but also opens up a ton of flexibility going forward. So here are 10 reasons why the Ranger Suárez signing was a hit for the Red Sox. Hi Red Sox Nation, and welcome back to Bleacher Bot. I'm your host B, and today I'm breaking down exactly why the Red Sox signing Ranger Suárez makes a lot more sense than it's getting credit for.
Swing and a miss, he got him.
Now let's be honest, this was a pivot. Boston wanted Bregman. They didn't get him, he's a Cub now. But instead of freezing or panicking, the Red Sox immediately reallocated that money to pitching and signed Suarez. And here's why that decision works. Let's start with the deal itself, which is market value for a pitcher of Suarez's caliber. 5 years, $130 million. That's an AAV of $26 million, which puts Suarez right in line with pitchers like Carlos Rodon, Sonny Gray, and Nathan Eovaldi. That's a fair price for a pitcher with Suarez's profile. Not a steal, but not an overpay either.
And a called strike three. There you go, John, right on the inside part of the plate.
In today's pitching market, this is what legitimate top-of-the-rotation arms cost.
His second career shutout.
And no accounting gymnastics here. This is a clean, straightforward contract for 5 years. No opt-outs, no deferrals. This isn't some desperately complicated Yankees overpay with opt-outs, buyouts, player options, team options, mutual options, and a partridge in a pear tree.
Fuck.
This is the Red Sox saying, we're committing to pitching, period.
And a called strike three, right on the outside part of the plate, 9 strikeouts.
And Ranger Suárez is a legit top-of-the-rotation starter who slots perfectly behind Garrett Crochet in the rotation. Suárez is 53-37 in his career with a 3.38 ERA and has been one of the most consistent pitchers over the last 4 seasons as a full-time starter for the Phillies.
And Soto remains hitless against Ranger.
Last year was his best yet. 12-8, 3.20 ERA, 1.22 WHIP, and 17 quality starts. That's exactly the kind of pitcher Boston lacked behind its ace in 2025.
And it's strikeout number 10 on the night for Ranger Suárez.
Now Suárez's specialty is inducing weak contact, and he's the best in the business. Last year, he posted the lowest hard hit rate in all of baseball, just 31.1%. This wasn't a one-year fluke either. He's near the top of that leaderboard every season.
A lot of ground balls that have not been hit that hard, like that one.
He's not overpowering hitters. He's beating them with movement, sequencing, and command.
Swing and a miss. 3 straight strikeouts, 6 strikeouts overall.
And add Fenway into the equation, and he becomes even more lethal. Left-handed pitchers who can change speeds and eye levels are notoriously hard to pick up there, and Suarez lives in that uncomfortable space. Hitters will never quite get the same look twice.
But here's what I first thought when I thought of Ranger Suárez and Crochet, the 2 guys sitting at the top. Left-handed pitchers are tough to pick up in Fenway Park. And I watched that video. His release point is perfect for Fenway Park. When you can get up top like that, and you're coming out of the stands, that is a tough AB. And I'm telling you, he's going to have big numbers pitching at home.
Swing and a miss, he got him.
And talking about Fenway, Ranger Suárez grew up loving the Red Sox over the Yankees since childhood back in Venezuela.
Since I was a little kid, when we would watch baseball on TV, what would be on was Red Sox, Yankees, and everyone was going for the Yankees, and I asked, why is no one going for Boston? And that's where the interest started. As I was made aware of the history of the team and hearing about how Babe Ruth pitched here and played here, and how you hear about Pedro Martinez and David Ortiz and all of the legends that have come through here, that's what really captivated me about this opportunity.
And the Suarez signing has prompted talk of Boston having the best rotation in the sport. You have Crochet at the top.
Strikes him out on 3 pitches.
You added Sonny Gray.
Sonny Gray, 5 punch-outs.
Now you add Suarez.
Swing and a miss. Got him with the slider.
That pushes Brian Bayo to the 4th spot, with legitimate starters 5 through 10 deep. It's not crazy to say this rotation is in the conversation for best in baseball, top to bottom.
We talked about, trying to create the most formidable rotation we possibly could entering, potential postseason, and feel like, Ranger fits right in.
But what I love most is how different all these starting arms are. Boston has leaned heavily into big, hard-throwing, long-extension power pitchers. Garrett Crochet, Peyton Tolley. Suarez is the counterpunch. Finesse, feel, craft, changing speeds, changing shapes. Facing Crochet one night, Suarez the next, and Gray after that is going to be a nightmare for opposing lineups.
Tucker called out on strikes.
And as mentioned before, Boston now has serious pitching depth, the kind that creates options. And when you have options, you have leverage. The baseball season is long, and inevitably there are injuries we'll have to deal with. Plus, it's not hard to imagine Craig Breslow flipping one of those arms for an infield power bat.
These are guys with real high ceilings and potential, and it gives them lots of flexibility now to either deal from the bottom of that rotational depth to get a bat, or combine one of those pitchers with one of the extra outfielders and really go get an impact guy.
Pitching depth is currency, and right now, Boston is rich with it. And finally, when it comes to the playoffs, Suarez has been amongst the best. Remember last year's playoff exit in the wild card series when the Red Sox desperately needed a true number 2 behind Crochet? That's exactly what Suarez is.
Is waved on and missed on another curveball.
He's been excellent in the postseason with World Series experience and sits among the leaders in career playoff ERA.
I think what really stands out is the body of work in the postseason. When his teams needed him the most, he was at his best, and we look forward to Ranger continuing to build that postseason resume here over the next 5 years.
Now let's get real. There are some warning signals. Suarez has never thrown 160 innings or made 30 starts in a season, and he's had nagging injuries throughout his career that kept him from being a full 200-inning workhorse. So there's definitely some risk baked into the deal. What do you think, Red Sox Nation? Do you love the pivot, or would you rather they'd gone all in on a bat instead of Suarez? Drop your take in the comments. I'd love to hear them. To me, this is the right pivot from Bregman. It's a bold and aggressive move. And for all the reasons I've stated, it's going to turn out to be a great decision for the Red Sox.
It's a 4-hit shutout for Ranger Suarez on a day when the Phillies needed it most.
And with that, Red Sox Nation, we've reached the end of this show. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next edition of Bleacher Bot. Until then, stay tuned, stay crazy.